Hi everyone! So basically I remember coming back from my 2015 trip with Ash and I filmed a commentary series which is basically me just rewatching the vlogs of my trip and kind of giving some further details and some background sort of information on it. So I wanted to do that again for my 2018 trip now that we're like a year and a half later and I'm feeling a lot better about it. I'm literally maybe I think 3 weeks tomorrow away from my 2019 trip with Adam, which I'm so excited about. So I thought let's do a little throwback and film the commentary series for this one. So I'm going to film hopefully quite a few of these and get them all up like pre and whilst we're in Florida, just so you've got like a little bit of content until we come back. So the video I'm going to be reacting / commentating over today is my travel day. Now I've just looked through this a little bit and I can see that in a 21-minute video, there's only about 9.5 minutes of actual footage before I just sit on the bed and ramble for ages. So I don't know if I'm going to film over the whole ramble. I've learnt not to do that for the next trip, but I'm definitely going to give my opinion and just a bit more backstory about some of the things that happens in this video, and go through some of the things I cut, because I tend to cut quite a lot in these vlogs, which I'm going to maybe try not do for the next trip, do some slightly longer ones. So let's go. Good morning, it is Tuesday, May 1st. I don't know why, I really like going to Florida on Tuesdays. I just, it's like the day I always pick. I don't know why. Saying that, me and Adam are going on a Monday, but Tuesday is like my day to go to Florida for some reason. So my dad, I drove to my parents and then my dad drove me to the airport, which I really appreciate, before his shift at work, so he had to get up super early for this. He doesn't really get the whole YouTube thing and me filming a travel day and stuff like that. So he was like the whole journey, he was like, what are you doing? Yeah, whatever, you do you, but this is really weird.
If you're going like upper class with Virgin, you go straight into the...
Oh, I should have gone upper class. But I didn't, because I had to cancel that. So I went economy. Well, no, I went premium actually.
Yeah, I could have done.
I love my dad always like giving last minute advice. Those cases actually were a complete nightmare to take through the airport. Once I checked them in, I was fine, but it was difficult. 3 cases, I just couldn't really film anything, which was really annoying. For breakfast, I went to Jamie's Italian. It was okay. I don't think I would get it again. It was a bit overpriced, and I miss the McDonald's that you could get in the North Terminal. It makes me really sad there isn't a McDonald's on the South Terminal. I just wanted my muffin for breakfast. It's like my Florida holiday tradition. And then I got really bored because I was so early, because my dad had to drive me in. I ended up sitting at Starbucks for ages. I think I moved seats like 3 times and it was really annoying, but I just had to fill the time. I didn't really have much money on me actually, and there was nothing in duty free I really fancied. So I kind of, when I wanted to film, I didn't want to film in the terminal because I felt really self-conscious, so I went to try and find what I thought my gate was, and I pretty much, this is where we're at now, where we saw the Virgin planes. To give some context, I'm actually upstairs on the plane, so I got a bubble seat in premium economy. To start with, there was no one on the flight, and the guy sat down literally, I think he was the last passenger to get on. And he was lovely. He spoke to me for like the first half an hour and then didn't really talk to me much again. Did I explain about how it was when I took off? I mean, I was filming the toilet because I was embarrassed. Just God. Oh, I really liked that I got my nails done for that trip. I might do that again for this one. I haven't at the moment, but I might do. So anyway, give a bit more. That's when the guy went to the toilet. It was the only time I could film. Now I realised from comments that I never ever for some reason said where I was staying. I didn't beforehand because I was worried about safety side of things. And I didn't on the trip at all mention the hotel I was in. You may have seen the logo like once, but I don't mention it. So to clarify, I stayed in the Wyndham Lake Buena Vista in the tower rooms, and I paid extra to get a theme park room. I think because I maybe mentioned it a little bit on Twitter, I thought I'd spoken about it, but I hadn't. It was actually a really, like, the location of the hotel was perfect for me to get to Disney Springs and back. I think the thing that really I didn't love is because this was a trip I was meant to do with Ash and ended up doing it on my own. We were meant to stay in Port Orleans French Quarter. It's the hotel we booked. So I think I was comparing this to French Quarter, and it wasn't magical because it wasn't Disney. Lovely room. I got extra magic hours with this room, but the fast pass thing hadn't come in, like the 60-day fast passes hadn't started yet. So I managed to get extra magic hours, which I did use a couple of times. You get like a little card that they give you, which I don't think I showed either.
Standard American shower. Okay.
Again, a couple of questions I got from this was, what do you mean when you say standard American shower? I mean, in the UK, our baths are like really quite deep, usually. And in Florida, I've seen in Vegas that they had, like my hotel room, the Bellagio had a deep bath, but they always seem to be quite shallow, and that's kind of where I was going with that.
Oh, it's a joining room. I didn't want that.
I don't know why I hate joining rooms. Like the thought, I know that you have to unlock it from both sides. I just don't like them. I hate them. But actually, the amount of time I was in the room, it didn't really bother me at all.
And then you've got the little table over here. And outside, I'm going to have to adjust the settings on this.
Well, when you had the wrong settings, Sarah, but you still tried to do them manually. I really liked this view, actually. I was really lucky. I had a nice, I think I was on the 6th floor. I think it was 13 or 14. No, it wouldn't have been 13 floors. Maybe there's 4. I can't remember how many floors there were, but I was on the 6th floor. I remember that. And I got a view of all the parks pretty much. I'm going to pan to a hotel, and that's Magic Kingdom's behind there. And then there's the, I think that's the Four Seasons maybe next to it. I saw some fireworks like behind the hotel, so that's kind of why I knew where it was.
Okay, much better. Oh, I look disgusting. I don't know if it's hot enough. Oh my god.
I mean, you have been on like a 9-hour flight, Sarah, so like it's fine. Like you're gonna look awful. But I think I was just like.
Wait, my jacket? I think it's like 27, but it is like 9 o'clock at night. Whoops. Oh my god, I've been literally going around far too long. I can't even like work out what time of day it is. Let me just dab.
You know when there's things that you just don't need to keep in a video? This is one of them. Like, just come back when you just fixed your face. I think I was trying to, because I was on my own, I couldn't have conversations with people. I think I was just trying to fill time by just talking about random stuff.
So, do we keep the denim jacket on? It is like 27 degrees.
I'm glad I didn't keep the jacket on because it was really warm. It was so humid as well.
It's okay. So.
Oh, the lighting. Oh, Sarah, bless you.
Get ready and go.
I'll probably still make the same mistake on the next trip, but it's just funny to look back at.
And then we'll get some food. I'm thinking maybe deluxe burger because I really want a burger.
So I do this weird thing, and I've already done it for this trip. Like a month before I go to Florida, I stop eating burgers for some. I just, not other things. Like I eat chicken, dippers, and nuggets and things. Burgers is the one thing I'm like, right, I'm going to Florida. Don't eat burgers until you go. So I think I was like, I need a burger because I haven't had one in like a month.
On my Minnie Mouse ears. Let's go get some food.
I was so tired already at this point. Like I very much always try and stay up until at least midnight on the first night, just so that I don't get jet lag and I can go straight into the next day. But where I had no one else to kind of like pump me up and be like, yeah, okay, we keep going, I was just flagging already. Oh god, the gift voucher, like I think I never got that sorted. If anyone wanted to know, like that is still like Virgin really stuffed me on that one, so thanks guys. I almost went for British Airways this coming trip because I was like Virgin have really annoyed me, but given that they're having strikes, I'm kind of glad I did stick with Virgin and use my miles I had. I definitely want to go back here with Adam. I think he'll really like it. Funny thing about this, so in a minute when I film myself eating, I've propped the camera up on a windowsill and then some boxes and things like that. Like I've tried to make it my height. The girl behind me was watching me for ages, and when I'm eating, when I was editing it, I was like, oh my god, she's just judging me, look at her. She's like, why is this crazy person filming themselves eating on their own? It was a really good burger though, actually.
Well, they're definitely not out of the Rose Bowl beers anymore.
I had really bad memories of World of Disney on this trip. I found the staff in there to be not great, and I know it's really busy, but I think where I was on my own and I was getting really flustered, they were just quite rude to me about the whole gift card thing. Like I get it, like they couldn't provide it, but I was told to go to them, and they were just like, nah, not our problem. So I get it. It's just at the time I got really upset, and then they were just like, well, sorry, like we're not going to help you with anything.
And the remote's still up there.
Do you know what? There's a Fanta behind me, and I think this was the first item of this trip that I was like, damn, like America's got really expensive. I think that Fanta was $3.25, which really, now I look at it, isn't that bad because of everything, like what everything costs. But at the time I was like, that's really expensive for a Fanta. And I was like, god damn, like America's got really expensive. Now currently, as I'm filming this, I think the dollar's $1 like 16 to the pound. So like I was living at my $1.40 then, but I've got more dollars this time. My parents have lovingly given me some for this trip, so I should be able to actually eat.
Fine. Well, that was fine. Got onto the plane.
I noticed, and this is not from this video, but from all of them, that I filmed a lot of these sort of little like wrap-up segments in my room. That's because I was just really nervous, and I felt really conscious of filming out and about. I think I get a bit better near the end. Like looking at this, we've got another 11 minutes of content of just me sitting on the bed chatting. So I think that's definitely something I'm going to not do in the next trip. There's going to be a lot more out and about content and a lot less just chatting in the room. But it was a learning curve. I was in a really weird place this trip. This trip I'd booked to go on with my partner at the time, and we broke up. And I decided to go anyway, and I think in hindsight that probably wasn't the best idea, because it wasn't a new trip I'd booked, it was just amending the trip that we had. So I was kind of like, I shouldn't be alone, I should be here with someone else, I'm really sad, blah 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 blah, and then trying to pretend that I was okay when I wasn't okay. So yeah, it was a bit of an awkward one, but I've kind of, when I've been rewatching these myself now, like I watch them occasionally, I just skip all this end bit because I don't care. Like I don't care about it, so I don't expect anyone else to care. So one thing I've definitely learned is don't sit and ramble in your room, Sarah, because you sound like a child, which is fine, but
it was the scary thought of like you've committed to this.
Talking about my flight. So I think I'm gonna.
You're going to Florida whether you want to or not anymore. Which really kind of gave me like a.
Also, these Angelica pajamas are from Primark, and I bought them for this trip. I have this thing where I have to buy a new pair of pajamas for Florida. I need to actually get some for this coming. Me and Adam just need to do like a big shopping day, and I just need to get everything I need.
They came over and they were lovely, they were helpful. And then at one point, one of the pilots, it wasn't the captain, I think it was the other one, came over and he was like, because I was on the bubble.
On the bubble, in the bubble. So you were sitting in the bubble.
He was like, "You okay?" I was like, "Yeah."
To be fair, like I'll give it to them. Virgin Atlantic staff were incredible. So I got on the flight and they just were like giving me prosecco. They're like, "Who are you here with?" I was like, "I'm going on by myself. I've just had a breakup recently. I'm a strong, independent woman. I'm going to Florida by myself." And they were like, "Cool, prosecco, have cocktails. We're just gonna keep feeding you." And then like. I told, because was I vegan? No, I wasn't vegan at this time, but they had my favourite vegan sweets on the flight, which are candy kitten. And the lady came around at one point on the flight and she's like, "Do you want some?" I was like, "Oh yeah, these are my favourite." And she just literally went, "Hold on." She went away and came back and she just gave me like bags of it. She's like, "Here, just eat the candy, be happy." And they all just came and chatted to me loads on the flight. So the staff like on that flight were incredible. Said Virgin Holidays, can't rate. Virgin Atlantic, smashed it for me. Premium, I'm kind of sad that I'm going economy this time because I think premium economy is 100% worth the cost.
Watched Pink Panther, Black Panther.
Oh yeah, I saw Coco for the first time on the flight. I cried. The man next to me, bless him, I cried when we took off because I had a panic attack. And then I was watching Coco crying and this man was like, must have been like, I've been put next to the craziest person on this flight. I was just sitting there going, "I'm really emotional." And he was like, "Okay." Bless him, he was lovely.
At some point, I think it was when the pilot was talking to me, or he said something, basically it was his first flight with Virgin, I think. Or was it his first flight? I can't remember, it was first something. But the other guy, the captain, the pilot...
I just wish I'd filmed more of this as it was happening, and not like this. So I think I'm gonna stop this video here because honestly it's just me rambling for like the next few 4 minutes, so I'm gonna stop that. Well, that is, if I stop this video at the same point I've stop the screenshot. It's a beautiful picture of myself. So yeah, that was kind of my travel day. I hopefully won't be as critical as the other days, but because I know I had a really stressful travel day. Like, I was so angry. I remember tweeting, being like, I hate Virgin, this trip is going terribly, blah 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 blah, and everyone was so great. And then I remember waking up the next morning and being like, I'm fine, just need to sleep. I was just tired and emotional. So yeah, that was definitely an interesting first day. I remember being like that when I moved to Florida. Actually, I remember getting really upset my first day because I felt really lonely. But yeah, I'm glad to get it out of the way. So that is the first part done. I'm actually think I'm going to sit and film the second one now because I quite liked this. I'm getting into the rhythm of it. So I do promise that ones after this will be better because there will be more content for me to kind of give you a bit more information about. This was basically just me getting on a flight, arriving in a Hummer. Did I talk about that? I feel like I did. And then just, yeah, get into my room. So I will see you next time for my Magic Kingdom Day 1 episode, which hopefully will have more than 9 minutes of me not in my room. Thanks for watching, and if you do want to follow along my 2019 trip with Adam, make sure to subscribe and turn the notification bell on for updates, and I will see you next time. Bye!